Hello everyone, my name is Sunny and I have a 12-month-old son Jackson. So recently I've been working on organizing the footage of the family camera of my phone. So I realized I have a lot of footage about him when he first started solids. So I'm thinking I'll use those footage to put a short video together to introduce our experience of starting solids for Jackson. There are 4 things I want to talk about today. The first one is when to start, and the second will be which method to use. Do you want to do baby-led weaning or traditional spoon feeding? And the third one will be what are the gears to prepare. Number 4 will be the tips of a few things I think helped me along this journey. So let's get started. When to start solid? For us, we started giving Jackson solid food when he was almost 6 months old. Of course, age is not the only criteria here. There are other signs you should look for. For example, the baby already has very good control of their head and the shoulder, so they can sit up straight when supported. And also, they started showing interest in food. So when you were eating, they will reach out to try to grab that. Open their mouth when you're trying to give them a spoon, those kind of things. So there are a lot of information online, and definitely talk to your pediatrician before you get started and find a timing that's good for you and the baby. Next, I want to talk about which method to use when you start solids. Do you want to do traditional spoon feeding or do you want to do the baby-led weaning? So spoon feeding is just what it means, right? Parents will prepare the cereal, baby cereal, prepare the puree food, and the spoon feed to babies. The baby-led weaning is bypassing all the pureed food stage. Start with provide age-appropriate finger food, so the baby can decide what to eat or how much they want to eat. This method is gaining popularity because it encourages baby to experience different textures of the food, right? How hard it is, how soft it is, how smushy it is. To reduce the risk of baby obesity, because with spoon feeding, parents tend to overfeed the baby because we're always thinking, they're not having enough. But with this method, baby will decide how much they want to eat. And lastly, will help to promote the fine motor skills. They need to use their hand to pick it up, to pick the food from the tray and put it into their mouth. And so it's a part of the practice for them as well. So which method did we use? We actually combined both of them together. During the lunchtime, we'll start with the pureed food, a few small spoon of baby cereal and a few spoons of the puree food. After that, we'll provide 1 or 2 types of finger food for him to explore by himself. The reason for that was when they first start eating, there are so many skills and so many steps that's in between. You have to pick it up, put it into your mouth, use your tongue to move the food from the front of your mouth to back of mouth and swallow it, right? That's a lot. So with the traditional spoon feeding part, we'll just break it down the second half, right? So we already have the food ready, they just need to learn how to move the food in their mouths as part of the practice. And another thing is just, I think for me, it helps because with the baby-led weaning, you always feel like they didn't really eat anything. Before they get to 1 year old, of course, the formula or breast milk is still their primary source of nutrition. So the solid part is just adding a little bit more over time, right? So you don't have to really worry about the consumption of the food. But still, just that just helped me, relax a little bit. For Jackson, he quickly became capable of feeding himself and refused to take spoon anymore. I think the spoon feeding phase only lasts about 2-3 months for us, and we'll just transition to completely baby-led weaning. When he was about 10 months old, what we can do is we'll just offer a plate of food, different types of food, and set it on the tray for him and pull up the high chair to the table. So we don't have to worry about feed him. We'll just have a very relaxed family dinner together. Next, I want to talk about the things to prepare before you get started. Of course, this is a very short list. I think it's almost like essential list for me. These are the things I get used over and over again, and I think I got a good value out of it. So let's get started. Well, safety first, right? So a high chair is a must-have. There are different brands and different features of the high chairs on the market. The key things to look for: does it have the 5-point harness to keep your baby safe, right? And number two will be, is it easy to clean? Can you take out the tray? Can you put it into the dishwasher? Can you take out the fabric and put it in the washing machine? A third one, I think, is how big it is, right? Does that fit into your home settings? Do you want to fold it? Do you want to have the wheel so you can push it around? No, those are the things to look for. The only downside I consider for a baby like weaning is it's so messy. So when I give Jackson some, sweet potato to try out, it will end up like everywhere. So on his hair, in his ear, and all over the high chair for sure, and of course all over the floor. So to combat that, I think a very nice thing to have is a splat mat. So it's just a big piece of fabric. You can put it on the floor and and roll your high chair on top of that. So when the baby just throwing food and drop food all over the floor, it's all on the mat, right? So after the dinner, you can pick it up and dump it into the sink, and maybe just tossing that into the washing machine, once or twice a week to wash the mat. It'll make your after dinner cleaning a little bit easier, so you don't have to, get your knee on the floor to wipe the floor all the time. Next one on my list will be the bibs. This will be very helpful as well because it will drop a lot of things, right? So you can kind of like hold the food in there and also protect their clothes underneath, so you don't have to change them like 3 times a day. There are different types: the silicone ones, the fabric ones. I like the fabric ones a little bit better because the silicone type seems a little bit heavy for him, and it's too wide here, so kind of getting in the way of his arm, so he couldn't do his stuff freely. Next one I really liked, is the baby food feeder. So it looks like a pacifier, so they can hold on to that, and you can put like fruit or other whatever food you want to put there, and they can suck on that. So this I used a lot when we first get started, right? So they can't really hold on to the food, but they want to try to taste it, and I will put some like blueberries in it, and then he will just suck on it himself for a little bit, and just suck the juice and leave all the peels in the feeder. So that's avoid the safety issue as well. So I like that one. Last on my list will be the plate. So of course I started with the ones that have the suction feature, so they can stick on the tray. It won't fly everywhere. But the downside of that one, most of those are silicone type, and over time will get this odor. And I don't know, probably because we wash it in the dishwasher. So just something to keep in mind. Probably have to replace it once in a while. The last thing I want to talk about is a few tips I think helped me along the way. So the first thing is to get the whole family on board. Before we get started, so I have I got my husband, my mother here to watch some videos together to introduce the baby-led weaning philosophy, the method, to get them on board. Sometimes it's hard for parents, especially grandparents, to see, they're just getting stuff everywhere, getting messy, but doesn't eat much. So I think that portion helped us. The second one will be get a group of mom friends. So I have a chat group. From time to time, they will post pictures of what they prepare for their baby. So you will get some ideas and inspirations of what types of food to prepare, how to prepare it. That helps. And another thing I think helpful is the app called Start Solids. On the app, you can track which food you prepared for your baby and get some instructions on how to serve them for different age group. And on their website, you can buy their more tutorial. This is not an app, so I just think that's a good resources for me when I first started this journey. That's all the things I want to share for today. You can leave a comment if you have any questions. I will try my best to answer those, and also share your experience of starting solids and help others too. So, bye!